Hey everybody, this is Chris from work in the grocery section. We're doing this video today about my board game that I've been trying to hype up for everyone. And we're gonna start by really zooming in on this evil dog while he eats his food. Because it makes me happier, and I'm nervous to do a video, and I'm gonna be talking really fast, and I'm gonna stumble through stuff, and I'm gonna forget to say stuff, but that's cool. That's okay. So we're moving over here, we're gonna pivot. We got big old board game full of stuff. Big old table. This is like 4 foot by 8 foot. This is a big 6-person table, and it takes up like a ton of space. And then we got these easels with boards with stuff on them that I've made, and all these little decks of cards that move, and they're gonna sit there. And that's actually coming to the game with us. They're not just there for the purpose of this presentation. And the purpose of this presentation is just to show off the components and be like, yo guys, look at all this cool stuff I made, tomatoes, and also just a little bit of world building. I'm not going to try to explain like how to play the whole game because that's going to get real boring real quick, and we're just going to do that when you guys show up. Not here. We're going to do this at a gaming studio somewhere, and it's going to be free, and you might even get some stuff, and I might even pay for your food. So, first, this map right here in front of you, this is a town or city, whatever. It's kind of big. And it's got little spaces in the streets, and it's got little buildings here. And it is a peninsula. So there's land over here, and all these 3 sides over here, that's all water. And it's kind of a tourist attraction. It's old, like Rome. It's got a lot of derelict buildings that are kind of falling apart, and they're interesting to look at. And it's got a lot of unique dishes that it offers, and it's got this college over here that I'm sure teaches something. It's right there on the water between 2 manors, so maybe like they have boating classes and stuff. That could be cool. And yeah, so most of the game is going to be you on this map in this town, and the reason the game exists is because there's an army way over here, way over there. It's not here yet, but it's coming. And it's going do. And it's approaching the town. And this army has been, like, kicked out of all its other, conquered nations, like Napoleon went into exile on Elba after he screwed up and tried to take over too much stuff. So they're coming over here. They're going to try to make their last stand in this little touristy town. It's roughly modern day. We have technology and stuff. But all these roads are super narrow, and they're cobblestone, and there's not a whole lot of cell reception. So a lot of things like cars and cell phones are just not going to be there because I said so. Let's see what else. So we got the town going, we got the army coming in, and as this army, led by a dude just ambiguously named the Tyrant, is coming in here, all of their bad vibes and all of their stomping and their tanks and crap are slowly waking up this ancient mythical figure that lives under the table. There he is. And he's called the Monarch, and he's like SpongeBob SquarePants. He kind of just represents chaos. He's a good dude. He's just trying to help people and have fun and explore, but he's understanding of suffering and time and space is just way off from everyone else. So as part of these guys coming in, he kind of wakes up. SpongeBob wakes up, and he sends out a wave, just ripples of like pure chaotic energy. And he hits all of the main characters, the heroes of this game, with like, alternating amnesia or extra personalities, or, in some cases, he just creates a person. Like when he wakes up, he makes a body for himself. So we have 15 different characters, 15 different personalities running around in this game that can actually be assigned to you, the players, and that's what these are about. Every one of these little things, and I've made 15 of them, represents a different dude, represents the different parts of life that sort of like trigger them, things that they care about, privacy and art, and maybe they get scared really easily, or they have a lot of empathy and they feel when other people are in pain. And the only difference between all these, they all have the same stuff on the front, is they have different markings on the back. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little X there in that circle. And you would rotate that. You know, however works best for you. I'm only using one hand. And you would flip it around and see if there's an X there. If not, then that character doesn't care about that thing. So, let's see, what else? We got the characters. That's a major part of the game. You're trying to figure out who you are, or, you know, you could even be. Maybe you're SpongeBob. Or maybe you're the leader of this army coming in, and you can take control of the soldiers. So, that's cool. You also get points. This is a big part of the game right here. This determines if you win or not. You're getting points for figuring these out. You get points for making friends, and they're all like in these different decks. Blue Reinforcement, that's like a cop type dude. That's one of the soldiers. It's an old couple. It's just two people who love each other in an apartment, and they're like 90. And you can make friends with these people. And you can carry them around with you and have them fight for you, even, some of them. And you get points for that. And you can also escape this hell that's going on with the army coming in and this strange SpongeBob creature waking up. You can hop on a motorcycle and get out, or you can, you know, take a helicopter, or you can find like a weird tunnel in the cemetery. There might be like a headstone that if you knock it over, it's actually just a path out of the city back towards land. Or you can fortify the town. You make a bunch of friends and have a bunch of weapons and have a bunch of money and sit yourself down in a museum or a diner somewhere and hold off. And if you get to the end of the game, this actually takes place overnight. So it starts at like 7:20, sun actually sets somewhere around here, and right at the end at like 4:40 a.m. the next day, you're starting to be able to tell that the sun is about to come up again. It's not all the way there. But you get to the end of the game, you tally up these points, and whoever has the most points wins. And that's about it. You got sort of a convoluted story. You got SpongeBob versus, I don't know, Darth Vader. And you're all in a town, and you're walking around just trying to experience stuff, trying to make friends, trying to pick up resources, you know, falling out of buildings. Some of these you're not allowed to actually get into because it's the middle of the night and they're closed down, and you might try to climb up a wall and break through a window, and that's not always going to work out well for you. And that is going to help you explore your personalities. Like, even failing at shit will sometimes help you figure out who you are. And to keep track of all this amazing shit that's going on, we have thumbtacks. Everybody's going to get one of these, and you just pull these out, and you'll plop them in here to keep track of your personalities and shit, and you'll plop them in here to keep track of, like, whether or not you've made friends with the locals, if the Darklings or the Tyrant Army right there, you go all the way down here at, like, a -3 if they really hate you. And that's mostly it. Let's see, more component stuff. This, for tracking. You got health. You got things you can carry. You got a number of actions you can take. And you use all these little tokens. Like, boom. If I could pick it up. You use that, just to show that you have, like, 1 hit point left. Which would suck. And you use these little guys to keep track of, like these cards over here. Wherever they are, you would show that. Like, if that goon is chilling out over here in Street Space 60, you would actually rip this apart and put one on, like, the goon card and the other one on in the space. So, I think that's going to work out pretty nicely. Let's see what else the game is going to go until we either get to the end of this timer at 4:40 a.m. or we blow through all the hidden content. All these other decks of cards, they're just there as like an organizational processing sort of a thing, so that if you have something or you find something or you act a certain way in front of another character, you can kind of add them to the map or change the way they act. But these over here that are turned away from you, and if I pull these out, like you can see, they got a bunch of stuff written on them too. That's Sam, a Darkling. He's over here. So that's the street deck. There are actually 2 of those. I split them up because it's huge. And as you like walk through the street, you're going to get to draw cards from this just to see if you run into something. And you're not always going to, and you don't always want to get hit by something in the middle of the night in the street. Sometimes you're just trying to be peaceful and quiet. And over here you'd have the rumor deck. And these, you actually have to like talk to the NPCs to get. Or you have to read a newspaper article or something. And you get access to, like, it's Rosalind. That's a person. you would have to learn that Rosalind existed and figure out where she was before you could activate her. So we're going to go until we get to 4:40 a.m. or all of this stuff in the street spaces and all of this stuff in the rumor deck has been torn through. And this is designed for like 5 players, so I feel like that's actually going to happen quicker than I think. I'm excited about this. I put a lot of work into it, mostly because I'm slow, not because it was amazingly difficult to construct. I'd say a lot of the time was probably spent on these, making like that's where the majority of the actual rules are that tell you how stuff works, and that was hard for me to figure out. But I'm gonna try to get a playtest going. I've told a lot of you about it. I'm gonna tell more people, and we can get 5 people in a room and sit you down for an hour or two and get you some food, and you tell me how it went afterwards. Because that's the whole point for me, is I want to show you guys, this is not the complete game. This is not like in my head what I had an idea for was way more than this. But I want to show you all these components, have you actually run through it, see how it feels as you're playing, whether or not it's fun, and have a conversation about like the sort of game that I'm trying to make and whether or not I'm on the right path. So that's about it for today. You guys have fun. Thanks for watching this whole video. If you did, then you don't have to like or subscribe or anything, because this is just the quickest way that I could get this thing out to you. But it does tell me that you like the sound of my voice, which I will be using to my advantage. Because, yeah, tools. All right. Adios. Enjoy. Bye-bye.